We are the dollars and cents.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, today we're going to do another unboxing, first impressions, and update video. Possibly a cheap but good fragrance, as I did find this one for $24.99. Although it is a 1.7 ounce, so you guys can let me know if you guys think that's a good deal or not. But we'll see all that here in a minute when we get to the actual fragrance that we're discussing. But yeah, it's from a house that I haven't done one in a while. But I will say I've probably done more from this house. And I'm just guessing on this one. I've probably done more from this house than I have any other house. And it's also a cheap house, and they make some decent fragrances, even though they don't probably last very long. And in my experience, some haven't in the past, but some have. They've made some pretty good, decent fragrances over the years. And this is like the newest one that I saw, and I actually found this one at Marshall's. Again, $24.99 for 1.7 ounce. It is Guess Uomo. So if you guys have heard about this fragrance, I haven't heard anything about it. I actually came across this fragrance at TJ Maxx, but the nozzle was broken, so I couldn't, someone had taken it out of the box and whatnot. So the nozzle was broken, so I wasn't able to really smell it or spray it or anything. But then this one showed up at Marshall's, and I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger, so that way I can get a first impressions for you guys. But I have some information about this fragrance, guys. See, Guess Uomo is a men's spicy, woody, fresh fragrance in 2022. Don't know the nose behind this fragrance, and it's an eau de toilette concentration. Although they have released a couple of eau de parfums in the past, this one I was sad to see was an eau de toilette. So I'll go ahead and get to the notes in this fragrance, and I can show you guys the presentation. On the top, we have cardamom, lavender, and grapefruit. In the mid, we have sage, saffron, and geranium. And in the base, we round things off with amber, dark woody notes, and benzoin. So it sounds nice. I did sort of take a quick gander at the notes and a couple of comments on Fragranica to see what people were saying. Let's see, this does have some instructions on how to spray it. I guess it has a locking mechanism. Not sure if you guys can see that or not. Let's see. Yeah, it has some instruction here how to lock the top. We'll see if it reminds me. Kind of looks a little bit like Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo. We'll see if it's anything like that. Let's take a look at this bottle, guys. Yeah, so this does have a little stopper on it like so. I mean, I don't think it goes with it because it's gray, but you never know. Maybe it's supposed to stay with it. I guess it does. But we do have a nice little plastic black placard here. It's nice and shiny and black. We do have this. Go ahead and take this thing off, and we have a nice big cap on here. Let's see if I can get that to zoom without it's getting on my face there. Yeah, so here we go. It's nice big spray here, guys. So let's go ahead and give this one a first impression without further ado. Let me see if this one's going to unlock or whatnot. I don't want to screw this up. Okay, yeah, so it does have a circle right there. So let's go ahead and get to the first impressions quickly, guys. That way we don't have to waste too much time on the other stuff. Couple sprays. All right, here we go. Okay. Yeah, nice and woody. Very spicy and spicy fresh. And I think there's people talking outside my window, guys, so I apologize if you guys can hear that. Somebody had just gotten to like a little fender bender outside or something, so I think they're out there talking about that. So, yeah. Very, very fresh, spicy, a little sweet. Smells like something I've tried before, but this is not bad off Jump Street. I'm definitely getting the grapefruit and the lavender, so it has like that mainstream feel. And there's a lot of woods in this. Not really sure what this. It says dark woody notes. It's not super dark in resonance, but it's just definitely dark and woody and fresh, spicy. Again, the DNA in this, it reminds me of something else that I've tried. Again, I can't think of which one it is right now, but I know that I've smelled this type of like fresh spiciness before. But it smells good. Oh, I just wish I could remember it because it could be, if someone were to tell me what it is, I'd be able to immediately say, yes, that's it. It doesn't smell like Bad Boy or doesn't smell like Invictus. This is just very fresh, spicy, very woody, very masculine. A little sweet. It's sweet from the benzoin, but it's also sweet from the grapefruit. So it has a little bit of that citrus sweetness. I'm getting some sexy cardamom in this. The lavender is what's really giving it its the lavender is really giving it that mainstream feel. Maybe this reminds me a little bit of House of Sillage number 4, the white bottle. If my friends out there have tried that one before, that one to me is one of my favorites. It reminds me slightly a bit of that. That one's a little bit sweeter. This one's a lot woodier, way more masculine. Yeah, I'm getting the sage, so it's a little green. It's a little green spicy, fresh spicy, sweet. This is not a bad fragrance, actually, for what you're getting. I think all going to come down to the numbers and maybe the dry down. But right now, this one actually smells really pleasant. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this one. I mean, right now it smells like it's going to have some decent performance because it's just very strong coming off my skin. But again, I've been both ways on that one. There's some times where a fragrance seems very soft and it'll last all day, and then vice versa. So who knows what I'm going to get with this one. But right now, it really does seem like this one's going to last quite a bit. Yeah, this is a really nice DNA. Glad to see that this one isn't exclusively reminding me of something right off Jump Street, because I don't like ruining a fragrance right off the bat like that. Because sometimes, honestly, in my mind anyway, a fragrance is ruined a little bit to me. It sort of takes away from a fragrance. I'm like, okay, that reminds me of this. If it immediately reminds me of something else, then I get a little turned off, and sort of honestly, it kind of takes me out of the review some. But I'm happy to say that this one, it doesn't exactly remind me a lot of something else, except maybe that number 4. But I'm sort of reaching on that one. I'm just trying to think of something. But yeah, guys, very fresh, spicy. The woody notes in this are fantastic. Like, this is very, very spicy, very, very woody. It's bright, yet spicy, and slightly sweet, guys. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wear this fragrance tonight and over the next couple of days and give you guys an update shortly. But right now, that's all really I'm getting from this fragrance without wasting too much of y'all's time. And that's why I have the update. So that way I can wear that, and we'll just skip right to the update. And maybe a couple of days have gone by then, guys. But yeah, sit tight, and I'll give you guys an update shortly. All right, guys, I'm back with my update for Guess Uomo. What can I say about this fragrance? Guys, I actually really like this fragrance. Gave this one a few wearings and actually really, really liked it. The opening blast smells a lot like ginger to my nose. There is not ginger in this fragrance. Cardamom, grapefruit, and lavender. So you get a bit of a mainstream opening with this one, but it's not something that you really have smelled everywhere. Honestly, like this opens up so bright and so fresh. It smells a little bit like a zingy ginger. Also has like a dry kind of ambergris saltiness to it that I didn't expect to get. It's basically that fruit note. It's a little bit dry, a little bit salty. Again, don't know where that comes from. It does have amber in the base. Could it be coming from that? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But like, I know that it does actually dry down and warm spicy. We'll get to that in a minute. But the opening of this is just really, really nice. And again, it might remind you of a couple of others. I can't really pinpoint what this reminds me of. I will say, after a little while, this one did remind me a little bit of La Nuit de Homme, which from YSL. This is not a dupe of that fragrance, but I do think that this does sort of go down the avenue maybe about 15, 20, 30 minutes later after it dries down a little bit. This does have the cardamom, just like La Nuit. This does have... I think La Nuit has bergamot, but definitely has citruses. This one has grapefruit. La Nuit has lavender, and I want to say it has some sage in it as well, and maybe some woods. But so it reminds me a little bit of it, but not an exclusive like clone or anything like that. I think this fragrance is nice. Now, I'm sure you guys out there will probably school me in the comments and let me know what exactly this smells like. I did go to Fragrantica, and people in the comments were saying, well, they said that when they said this reminds me of this, a lot of them were saying Bad Boy. I don't get Bad Boy at all with this fragrance. None of the flankers or the original. I mean, maybe because it's like sweet and has a little bit of that mainstream, but this more has like a ginger type of fragrance. And then when it dries down again, it gets to that nice La Nuit, cardamom, lavender, sweet, citrusy kind of sexiness, guys. Very impressed with this fragrance. You know, from the beginning, or from the top into the middle, and to the bottom, I was really impressed with this one. And like, again, in the middle you get the La Nuit, but in the base you get a warm, spicy amber fragrance. And so this one all around was really, really good. The longevity for this fragrance, now again, a little bit of debate with this one. Okay, I wore this one to work a couple of times. I was able to get the dry down after 8 hours, after a full day's work, and that was in warehouse conditions. Now, it's going to be up to you guys. You guys can let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this are, but does the dry down count as longevity, right? Some people will say, no, if I can't really get most of the top notes and some of the mid notes throughout the day, then the dry down doesn't count. To be safe, I'm going to say this lasted 6 to 8 hours. 6 hours, it was going strong, not beast. We'll get to the projection, but I could still smell it coming off of me. It was a windy day this morning in the warehouse, and it was kind of, I was getting soft wafts of this one throughout the day, so that was nice. But yeah, towards the 8th hour, it did get closer to the skin, but I was left with a nice, warm, spicy dry down. Ambery, warm, spicy dry down that you get in some other fragrances, but I do like that in fragrances, so I'm not complaining about that. And yeah, so I was really really happy to see this one stuck around. I did do the arm test, like I did say in a couple of other videos, where I sprayed my arm the night that I did the first half of the video, and actually I could smell the dry down the next morning. So again, guys, we can say 6 to 8 hours to be careful, but people on For Granted were saying, I wish it lasted longer, 2 hours and it's gone. Again, I don't know what they're talking about. I didn't have that experience. Maybe I put on more juice than they did. Maybe they just put on a couple of sprays. You guys know I'll go heavy on the trigger. I did about 4 to 6. Again, you guys can try to clown me in the comments, but hey, we all wear different amounts of fragrance, and I happen to wear that much, guys. But projection for this fragrance was moderate. It was about average for an eau de toilette. It was okay, but it wasn't booming, and you're not gonna get probably not gonna get noticed across the room, which again for some of you guys could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, guys. Seasons for this fragrance, man, I'm gonna seek wear this fragrance all season for all seasons. Maybe not like the dead of winter, because this one is not going to be thick enough to cut through the cold, but I just don't think it's going to have okay, just to be fair, we'll say spring, summer, fall. We won't throw winter in there, but I can see myself wearing this one in the winter, just because I live in Texas, guys. Right now I think it's like 70 and it's February, so you guys can figure that one out. That maybe I'm a little biased, and I'm just going off of my Texas climate here, so that's probably not fair. But we'll just say that those 3 months, or those 3 seasons out of the 4, to be fair. Occasions for this fragrance, man. Okay, so I do think you could probably wear this one casually. I've been wearing this one casually, but guys, this is a sexy fragrance. Okay, again, it did remind me a little bit of La Nuit, and it, like in the dry down, in the mid, like I said, half an hour later. So I think this would be perfect for evening events, date night. I think your girlfriend would love this fragrance on you. If your lady likes La Nuit, they're gonna like this one. It has 3 or 4 of the same notes. So I did get that vibe. I think that people are gonna think this fragrance is very sexy. I think the opening is nice, but so evening events, suit and tie, dress down, not strong enough for a club, be a great work scent. I don't think it's going to be too cloying for work. You're not going to get fired wearing this fragrance, I will say. Ages for this fragrance, well, 1.7 ounce was $24.99, I think I said. Really hoping I could get that price for 100 mil, but I did find 100 mil of this, I think, for $31.99 on eBay. No one's going to be faking this fragrance, guys, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But I do think, $24 isn't awful for a 1.7, but I do think 31 is pretty good for 100 mil. You're basically doubling the size for a few dollars more. So if I decide to get this one again, I'm going to definitely get a bigger bottle and probably sell this one off or swap it or something. But I do think that I think that 20, we'll say 20 and up can pull this one off, guys. Easily affordable by way younger than that, 16-year-old, 18-year-old. But I think that with the sexiness of this fragrance, you probably got to be a little bit more mature, maybe a little bit older. So maybe 20 could pull this one off, nice college type fragrance. It's nice and sexy, it's probably get you compliments from the ladies. Guys, but overall, I do think that this fragrance is really good. I do think this is a cheap and good fragrance. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the first half of the video, but I think this does, for $31 for 100 mil, that's going to qualify for a cheap but good fragrance. I think this one's probably getting slept on. They do have an aqua version of this one that I think I might want to pull the trigger on. I haven't taken a look at the notes. I'm just curious if it's going to be like sort of the same DNA, but just maybe a little bit blue, a little bit fresher. Who knows? Because I do like that opening, that freshness of the opening, the fresh, spicy, warm, spicy bit that this one really does give. Now, we'll say, I'm pretty sure Guess isn't listening. Maybe I can tag them somehow. But if they are listening, I'm waiting for the intense version of this, or like just a stronger version. You give me one that jumps off my skin, and I will be buying this stuff like forever. And I think that this is actually probably one of their best releases, in my opinion. I've tried a lot of their fragrances. I think one of my other favorites was, I think it was called Los Angeles, 1981 Los Angeles. They're all cheapies. They're all at Marshall's, and they're all super cheap, and you're not going to break the bank going to get those. But this one I think is special. I do think this one really does sort of break the mold when it comes to the fragrances that they typically put out. And all their fragrances are pretty decent. It's just they don't really last as long. And again, I know that you guys are probably going to say this one doesn't last long on your skin. On mine, I didn't have an issue with that. This fragrance is sexy. It's great. Looking forward to trying the blue, and I think I might pick up 100 mil, guys. Well, have you guys tried this fragrance? Let me know your thoughts on the fragrance down in the comments below. Let me know. Am I crazy? Do I just have magic skin that this one's lasting 6 to 8 hours on my skin, guys? Did I get a decent batch? Who knows, guys? It's guess, right? We're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be doing anything crazy. Oh, I'll also say that I did pull off the top of this a couple of times. So be careful, guys, because the actual top is the atomizer. So just line up the actual guest letters there, and if those are facing forward, then you're gonna have your sprayer, guys. But yeah, again, let me know your thoughts on this fragrance in the comments below, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching another video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn off notifications for future first impressions videos and first edit content just like this, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you find first edit photos and future contest winners. And as always, until next video, you guys take care. Thanks.